My husband went through my phone while I slept. Now I think he's playing mind games. I'm either losing my mind, or he wants me to think I am. Yesterday morning I was just trying to find a picture of our kid to send to my mom. I opened my image folder and there they were, screenshots. 3 of them. All from around 1 a.m. All from my phone. Screenshots of private conversations I had with friends about him. About the lease I signed. About how I just couldn't do it anymore. I didn't take them. I didn't even open those messages last night. Hell, I was asleep by 10:30. I scrolled through them, my heart instantly pounding. You know that cold feeling, like you just got punched in the gut from the inside? That's what hit me. Why would he do that? Why not confront me directly? Why not scream or throw things or cry or something normal? Why sneak onto my phone in the middle of the night, take screenshots, and then leave them there like some sort of trap? It's not even about the messages anymore, it's the message behind the screenshots. Like he's trying to mess with my head. Like he wants me to know he knows, but also wants me to be the one to bring it up. We've been in marriage counseling. I've been trying to be. I don't know, honest is the wrong word. I've been trying to survive. We had a million rules. He said if I wanted to prove I cared, I had to cut off certain people. I did. He said I had to stay. I didn't. I signed a lease 2 weeks ago. The place is small. Nothing fancy. But it's mine. It starts next month. And ever since he found out, he's been on me like a shadow, texting constantly, acting nice and then cold, saying he's changed, begging, guilt-tripping, threatening therapy again. Then saying I'm the one not trying. Now this. I don't even know how to get through the next 2 weeks in this house. I can't confront him because I'm scared of what comes after. I can't pretend nothing's happening either, because he's making it very clear something is. And the worst part is, I can't even trust my own mind anymore. Did I take those screenshots in my sleep? Did I forget? Am I that broken? I'm just so tired. I want peace. I want out. But I also want to be a good co-parent, and I'm scared of what he'll do if I poke the bear before I can leave safely. I feel like a prisoner in my own house, and I think that's exactly how he wants it. We started counseling after everything exploded. Not because we were healing, but because we were bleeding out and didn't know what else to do. He cried in front of the therapist the first time. Said he just wanted his family back. That he'd do anything. That he forgave me. I believed him, in that moment. Or maybe I just wanted to. I felt like I owed him that much. He told me. Delete that friend's number. Stop texting anyone who feeds your negativity. Share your location. Stay, just stay. 1 more month. 1 more week. 1 more night. And I did. I tried. I deleted the friend. I showed him my texts. I even left my phone unlocked just so he could stop accusing me of hiding something. I thought if I gave him enough access, the paranoia would go away. I thought if I bled myself dry in front of him, he'd finally see I was sorry. But the truth is, no amount of transparency will ever be enough for someone who doesn't want to trust you. Every day he'd flip. One moment, he'd be planning our future. The next, he'd be asking me why I was breathing so quietly. Are you mad at me? Are you thinking of him? Is this your way of punishing me? The more I gave, the more he wanted. And not out of love, out of control. Then came the surveillance behavior. He'd notice if I changed my password, even though he swore he didn't check. He'd remember word for word things I said in passing weeks ago. One night, I left my phone on the charger in the kitchen and he asked me why it wasn't in the bedroom. Why would he care? Unless he needed access. Unless he was already used to going through it. When I finally told him I signed the lease, he looked me dead in the face and said, "So you've been planning this whole time? While I was trying to fix us." He said it like I betrayed him. Like I stabbed him in the back again. But I wasn't planning, I was preparing. There's a difference. He said he could change. That he'd shower more. Drink less. Stop waking me up drunk. Stop touching me when I'm sleeping. I wanted to believe him. But even when he said those things, he never apologized for doing them. I used to think love was about forgiveness. About sticking it out, no matter how broken things got. Now I think love shouldn't make you feel like you're slowly disappearing. And these past few weeks, I've been vanishing one piece at a time. There's this kind of silence that isn't peaceful. It's thick. Heavy. Like the air around you is holding its breath, just waiting for something to break. That was our house for the last few months. We weren't yelling. We weren't throwing plates or slamming doors. It was more like everything just died. The affection. The laughter. Even the routine bickering. It all faded into this weird zombie rhythm. Go to work. Feed the kid. Talk about groceries. Pretend the marriage isn't rotting under our feet. There were moments, tiny ones, where I thought maybe we were clawing our way back. But then, something would happen. Something stupid. I'd take too long to text back. He'd catch me scrolling at night and get suspicious. I once laughed a little too hard at a TikTok, and he asked, "Was that something he sent you?" And I'd just sit there, staring. Trying to figure out if I should defend myself or just shut up and survive the moment. Then there was that night. The one I still can't wrap my head around. I'd been asleep, dead asleep. It was one of those nights where the exhaustion hits like a brick wall. I woke up confused, half in a dream, because I felt someone on me. Him. Hands moving. Breathing heavy. And I remember this sick, sinking feeling of, not fear, exactly, but resignation. Like, of course. Of course this is happening right now. I didn't even say anything. I didn't stop him. I just laid there, barely conscious, and let it happen. And even now, I don't know what to call it. I don't want to label it because labeling it makes it real. And if it's real, then I've let so much worse happen to myself than I ever admitted. After that, I started sleeping with my back to him every night. Phone on silent. Doors unlocked. Just waiting for the lease to start so I could breathe again. He asked me to fix things. Said if I contacted that friend again, we were done. That was his line. But he wouldn't stop drinking. Wouldn't stop grabbing me on weekends when he was drunk and lonely. Wouldn't stop pushing guilt like it was love. This isn't just a bad marriage anymore. It's psychological warfare dressed up as a second chance. And now, with those screenshots. I know for sure he's watching. Waiting. Calculating. He doesn't want to win me back. He wants to trap me in guilt and call it love. The screenshots were like a gut punch I didn't see coming. Not texts from him. Not from a friend sending me something risky. Screenshots of my own conversations, taken while I was asleep. And they weren't just random either. They were the worst ones. The ones where I vented the truth I'd never say out loud. That I was scared. That I didn't love him anymore. That I had a plan to leave. That I felt like I was being suffocated in a relationship where everything I did was monitored, questioned, twisted. They weren't even hidden deep in the gallery. They were right there. Top of the camera roll. Timestamped at 1:12 a.m. That's how I knew he wanted me to find them. Not confrontational. Not angry. Just quiet manipulation. Like he needed me to spiral on my own. Like he wanted me to question reality. Did I screenshot these and forget? Am I losing my mind? I stared at them for 5 minutes, frozen. My hands were literally shaking. Because this wasn't just about privacy, it was psychological. He didn't yell when I didn't bring them up. Didn't ask questions. But he watched me. I could feel his eyes scanning my face when I scrolled my phone. Looking for a reaction. And when I didn't say anything, that's when he lost it. 6:30 a.m., he woke me up like a bomb had gone off. Pacing. Throwing out accusations. You think I'm stupid? You're emailing him again, aren't you? You just want to make me look like the monster. I sat up in bed, still half asleep, barely able to process. Then came the tirade. He searched my phone right in front of me. No warning. No asking. Just grabbed it and started digging. Like it was his property. Like I was. And the thing is, he didn't even realize the screenshots were still there. That's how sloppy this has gotten. He was so caught up in control, he forgot to erase the evidence of his own creeping. I didn't fight back. Didn't scream. Didn't cry. I just sat there and realized, I'm done. He's not looking for answers. He's looking for something to punish. And I'm not going to be his emotional punching bag anymore. I've got 2 weeks left in this house. 2 weeks until I can exhale without being interrogated. And if he wants to call me the villain, fine. I'll be the villain who finally walked away. Every morning since I found those screenshots, I've been walking on a minefield. Not eggshells, mines. One wrong word, one wrong look, one wrong text, and boom. He's watching me like I'm a puzzle he's halfway figured out. And I hate that I've gotten so good at pretending. Smiling at breakfast. Nodding when he talks about us. Answering like I'm still in this. Like I didn't already sign a lease with a new zip code and a different life. But the truth? I'm not scared of starting over. I'm scared of what he'll do when he realizes I really, truly mean it this time. I think he knows. Deep down. He's clinging to the idea of me like a drowning man grabs driftwood. But he doesn't want me. He wants the version of me that feels guilty enough to stay. He wants the version of me that lets him pace and scream at 6 a.m. because I disrespected him with a private thought. The version that justifies his cold silences and forced apologies and half-hearted promises to be better. But that version is gone. And yeah, I screwed up. I had an affair. I lied. I broke trust. I know that. I own that. I've replayed it 100 times and flinched every single one. But I also asked for change. I begged for space. For respect. For him to see me as more than a wife, a mother, a caretaker, a body to touch when he's drunk and lonely. And he refused. He weaponized my guilt. He turned therapy into a scoreboard. And when he couldn't control my thoughts, he tried to catch them. Screenshot them. Trap them. So here I am, counting the days. Quietly packing the pieces of a life I'm done apologizing for. He can call me a liar. He can call me a cheater. He can call me a monster. But he will not call me his much longer. And when I walk out that door, I hope he finally hears the silence. Not the silence that punishes, but the one that frees. I didn't cry when I left. Not when I packed the last bag. Not when I handed my kid a juice box and said, let's go. Not even when I looked back at that house, our house, for the last time. It was weird. I thought leaving would feel like ripping my skin off. But it felt like stepping out of a too tight shirt I'd been wearing for years. The apartment was small. Ugly carpet. Buzzing fridge. Empty walls. But it was mine. And it was quiet. I didn't even unpack fully. I just lay on the mattress I dragged from the hallway, stared at the ceiling, and let the silence fill my lungs. Then my phone lit up. 10 missed calls. 7 voicemails. And 1 text. I know what you're doing. You're not who you pretend to be. I didn't respond. I let the messages pile up. Anger, then guilt. Blame, then pleading. It was like he was throwing every emotion at the wall, hoping one would stick and drag me back. The last voicemail though, that one shook me. His voice was calm. Too calm. He said, just remember, I know everything now. Even what you deleted. You should be careful. It wasn't a threat. But it wasn't not one either. My heart dropped into my stomach. And just like that, the fear crept back in. What did he know? Did he do more than take screenshots? Had he installed something? Was he tracking me? Was this why he was so calm those last few days? Because he'd already stripped me of privacy and just wanted to watch me realize it? I barely slept that night. And for the first time since leaving, I asked myself, did I make a mistake? Then I looked over at my kid, finally sleeping through the night, peaceful, unbothered. And I knew. No. I didn't make a mistake. But I may not be as free as I thought. The next morning, I woke up and my phone was already buzzing. I didn't look at it right away. I didn't want to look at it. But the truth is, I've been waiting for something, anything, to make me feel something besides this quiet void. I finally unlocked it. Text from him. You're not the person you think you are. The others were more of the same. He's sorry, he wants to fix things, he can't live without me. But this one felt different. Cold. Like a line he'd rehearsed. Like a way to remind me of the version of myself he still controlled. Or thought he did. I didn't even reply. I spent the day unpacking and settling in, trying to ignore the ache in my chest that told me this was the hardest part. Not leaving. But facing the aftermath. The quiet moments where he wasn't there to question me. To make me feel wrong for feeling free. By nightfall, I finally blocked his number. And for the first time in years, I felt something I didn't know I'd been missing, peace. But then, an hour later, a new text popped up on my screen. It was from a different number. You're making a mistake. It won't end like you think. I didn't recognize the number. But I knew who it was from. The voice on the other side didn't change. It was still him. Still controlling. Still watching. Still manipulating. For the first time, I realized the truth. I'd won the battle, but the war wasn't over. Because he knew me. Knew how to push my buttons, how to make me second-guess myself. But this time, I knew what he was doing. And I knew the only way out was to stay silent. So I did. I didn't answer. Didn't respond. Didn't look back. And for the first time, I felt the silence. Not the one that punishes. Not the one that stings. But the one that's finally mine.